Hello to all my integrated math students out there. I had a request from a student to do a walkthrough video of some of these percent problems. So I thought I'd make a little video here and just kind of post it for everybody just in case you need some help with these. So we're going to take a look at what I worked out on the Mr. Schaub's notes file that I gave you. Remember, I posted the blank packet, which you're supposed to fill out. I also posted my notes, in which I did a couple of the problems. You can see them right here. So I'm just going to kind of talk through them so you understand where all this stuff is coming from. And it really all starts with this template. Let me get my awesome lightsaber pointer out here. It all starts with this template, all right? This is what we use to figure out where to put the values that they give us in the problem and also where to put the variable. Because remember, they're always asking you to find one of the numbers, and then we have to put in numbers for the two of these other spots right here. And then, of course, the fourth spot's always taken up by 100 because percents are always out of 100. Okay, so really the most important thing to understand, if I can get my pen out here, is that is a shortcut, but it really means the part. And then just like with percents, 100 is the whole thing. Okay, all percents are gauged out of 100. So we always put the part on top and the whole thing on bottom. That's what we're really looking for. So you can use common sense to work your way through these as well. All right, so number 11 says, what number is 35% of 80? Okay, so we look here. Now, the percents are the first thing I always look for because they're easy to find. They have the percent sign with them. So whatever number, if they give you a number with a percent sign, that goes where the percent sign is in the template. And so we put the 35 here. Okay. Next is a little more complicated. So let's use a couple colors here. All right, we're gonna shade the is number in blue. All right. Okay, and so here in the problem it says what number is. So that means anytime they ask you to find a number, we're talking about x. All right, so that's going to be x there. And let's see, the of number is just the number that is next to the word of. So let's use red for this one. So the of is going to be in red. All right, of 80 it says. Okay, so basically what they're asking is, what number is 35% of 80? So the number we're looking for is going to be a part of 80. All right, so if we have the blue, the part on top, the whole thing on bottom, then we're good to go. Okay, so you can, and we've been doing, so from here, we've been really good at using our cross product. So keep up with the good work there. All I did was multiply 100 times x, okay, and then so if I want to write it in here, I did skip a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so it was 100x. Of course, to get x by itself, we have to divide both sides by 100, so that's what I did. That's why we're dividing by 100 on this side, but really this is the math that we have to do to get to our answer here. Okay, and the last thing I want to stress to you about these problems is always use your common sense. Use your power of estimation. It's a very powerful tool when we're working with these. Okay, so in other words, what you want to think about is, okay, you want to estimate, even maybe before you start the problem, what do you expect to get? Okay, what number is 35% of 80? Well, we know real quick that 50% of 80 would be half of that, so that'd be 40. So since 35% is even less than 50%, we expect our number to be less than 40. And it is, in fact. Okay, so remember, you can do a common sense check and make sure your answer makes sense with the problem. If you end up getting something, okay, so say maybe you type it in the calculator and you leave off a 0 on the 100 and you get an answer that says 280. You should know immediately that something is wrong because 280 would not be 35% of 80. 80 is the whole thing. The number that we're looking for is smaller than 80. Okay, so just one example of why you always need to use common sense and think about your answer logically. Think about, does it make sense or not? Is it pretty much what you expected, or is something out of whack here, and did you make a mistake? You have to go back and find it. All right, so I'm going to do you a little favor here, and we're going to do number 15 together. And we'll give you one more problem that you don't have to do on your own. But still, it's good to understand what's going on here. So the directions are always the most important thing to read. All right, find the percent and round your answers to the nearest whole percent if necessary. Okay, so we are looking at what percentage 90 rock CDs are out of 125 CDs. Okay, so the first thing you got to understand, let's write our template down. Okay, this should never start a problem without this staring you in the face. This is how we set it up. So we'll do, and I like to just write the part over the whole because that helps you understand it a little bit better, I think. All right, so now let's fill in with our values. Okay, 90 out of 125 means that this is the part and this is the whole thing. So, and of course, we're always looking for the percent. So our variable is always going to be where that percent sign is. So it's always going to be x over 100. And then we just got to make sure we get these other two numbers in the right order. All right, let's do our cross products here. Oh, that didn't work too well. Okay. It's fun, though, with this Apple Pencil, I'm telling you. All right, so that gives us 125x equals 100 times 90. All right, we got to solve that. We got to divide both sides by 125. So this is the math I'm doing on the calculator. Punching it in, we get 9,000 on top divided by 125, and we get 72. So no rounding necessary here. We get x equals 72. Because we're finding a percent, don't forget, it would be a silly thing to lose points for on the test. If you are asked to find a percent, you got to find a percent. You need to leave it you need to leave that percent sign on there. Okay, so on to the applications. I wanted to talk about number 24. You got 4 application problems on here. Well, technically 3. One has 2 parts, but they're all about driving. In case you didn't notice that, they're themed. I think I just want to bust out of this quarantine and hit the open road, but of course that's not a very safe or smart decision to make at this time. So we'll just have to dream about it, I guess. But we got a bunch of questions here about driving. 24 is pretty straightforward, but remember 25. You're doing the same thing. They're both about percents. So your approach is the exact same in both problems. The only difference is the context. They're about different things, okay? So you just got to keep working on reading critically and trying to pull out the information that the problem gives you and put it where it needs to go, okay? So lightsaber time. Okay, your car's gas tank holds a total of 15 gallons of gas. Your dashboard indicator tells you that your gas tank is 64% full. How many gallons of gas are in your gas tank? Okay, so remember the question, that's always what our variable is going to represent. So how many gallons of gas are in your gas tank? Well, ask yourself, is that the part or is that the whole thing? It can't be the whole thing because the whole thing was given to us, right? The total amount of gas that our car holds is 15 gallons. It cannot possibly be more than that. So we're looking for a number that's less than 15 gallons. So that's going to be the part. And we know it's less because the percentage is 64. If that percentage was 110% full, first of all, that would not be possible because you can't fill a gas tank 110% full. But if it was over 100, we would expect the part to be larger than the whole thing, okay? But in this case, that's impossible, so we're not going to worry about that. So that's why I put the 64 in for the percent, I put X in for the part, and I put 15 in for the whole. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this. And like I said, I think after this, if you had trouble with percents, this should straighten you out a little bit and get you moving in the right direction, and then you can try 25 on your own. And remember, 23, I gave you a little help to get you started on that one too, but it's the same thing. It's setting up ratios, making sure you're putting the values in the proper place. All right, so let's go ahead and solve. Cross products. And we have 100x equals 15 times 64. All right, we get 100x. When we punch that in, we get 960. All right, and then dividing by 100 is super easy. You just move the decimal place 2 spots to the left. All right, so we get 9.6. All right, and of course, that's my answer because I'm the teacher and I'm lazy. You're going to go ahead and answer this question just like you would on a test. So something along the lines of, there are 9.6 gallons of gas in the gas tank, okay? You're not just doing the math, you're showing me that you can apply it to a real world situation and you can come up with an answer to a question, okay? So hopefully that helps you out a lot. People, honestly, this is really an easy process for me to make these little videos for you. If you want to see any other problems done on this to help you out, that's what I'm here for. Don't be afraid to ask. I'd be happy to make another video, whatever you want to see. And don't forget, Zoom session tomorrow, well, Tuesday, if you're watching this on Monday, that's tomorrow. And so let's see, so for A3, our Zoom session will be at 1 o'clock, and for A4, it'll be at 2 o'clock. Remember, if nobody comes to that, then there's no video that you can watch afterwards where if somebody's there, then we'll go through as many problems as you want. I'll record it all. I'll post it. More help for you. But if nobody shows up, then you get no video from the Zoom session. So don't just rely on your classmates to be there. If you need help, you need to get to that Zoom session, all right? I want to see you. I want to see you all. So at least come say hi. You don't even have to have any questions. Just say hi to your classmates. Say hi to me. It'll be awesome. I'm out for now. Let me know if you have any other questions. Peace.